it's the Hiya, India. How you doing? Are we good? Let's check the chat, make sure everything's good. We are live. Hey Bob Stew, hey Happy Dog, hello India, how you doing? I hope you're good. Yeah, big love to Rich, I enjoyed his show today. I always listen on a Sunday in the hope that I can find something to take the mick out of him with, but he did a really good show today again. The swine. We'll just let people come in. Oh, cool. I once again brushed my family out the house, and I've just had confirmation that she got there safe, so that's good. The chat settings have been reset, so that's a bit annoying. I think it should be alright now. You guys should appear. There we go. Hello, Pickle. I am Matt. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Right. Oh, that's the first story. I'm not on that yet. Spoilers. Guys, if there's anything you want me to talk about, mention it in the chat or drop me a DM. It's at Graeme Booth. My Twitter's right there. Sorry, I know the American folks, I always get complaints because it's so early. J Raw 123, you are up very, very early. Houston, Texas. Houston. I know a guy from Houston. Lovely guy. Gay Cowboy is. And I mean that. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. He's literally a very gay cowboy. He's been wife now. I'm glad he's settled down. When I knew him, he was all over the place. But yeah, nothing winds someone up more than saying Houston, especially in a British accent. You from Houston? I love it. I love that guy as well. He used to call me a slippery little devil. That chat's coming up okay, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Or is it, actually? Has it updated? I'm not sure. It should be fine. No, it's not. It's not updating. Why is it not updating? Hi, this is my first live stream with you guys. Only discovered you yesterday, and I had fun binging on your content. Oh, it was you, was it? Make it a good one. I'm not saying you're gay, and I'm not saying anything's right or wrong with gay. I mean, I don't give a fuck either way, man. But he was a gay cowboy. And he moved away. You know, not that Texas is particularly, in my personal experience, not that Texas is particularly damaging. Obviously, there's some assholes there. In my experience, everyone's really open. Dunk Nailers asking my take on Sargon of Akkad. I was going to get to that a little bit later, but we can start on that if you'd like to, actually. Let's have a look. I'll go through my tabs. We'll get there early, shall we? Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, so this Sargon, I mean, generally, I will say as an overall thing, Sargon is as I've said before, he's taking the sort of Trump route, isn't he? And to be fair on him, he's not. It's not like he's seen Trump and gone that. He's been doing that shit for years, way before Trump was even a thing. So it's not like he's like sucking on the teats. But honestly, he is a little bit as well, isn't he? Of course he is. He's going for that thing of like, let the media smear you as much as humanly possible, and then you, on the assumption that a certain percentage of those people go and find your videos. Sorry, just a second, that's too bright, it's killing me. There we go. Go and find your videos and hear the truth, and then you eventually build up a shield, because there's going to be a certain amount of people who watch the videos, enjoy it, have respect for him, have respect for his opinions. And don't get me wrong, he does some phenomenal analysis. I've really enjoyed some of it. Those people who are then within that cocoon of like on Sargon's side, they will then ignore all the smears, you know? I mean, I'm no defender of Donald Trump, but they are dicks to him sometimes. They do take it too far. They misquote him. They misrepresent what he said. You can see it all the time in Trump's videos, those hard cuts where they've cut out the context to what he's saying. You know, like they did it with the crimes. What is it, MS-13, and they cut off the bit where he said he was talking about MS-13, and then he was like, they're disgusting, and then it's like, immigrants. Look what he said about all migrants, especially the brown ones. He's kind of going for the same thing, isn't he? He's hoping for the smears. He's hoping for the thing because ultimately just more and more people go into this thing. Will it work? I don't know. British politics don't work the same as American politics, and I'm very excited for it. I've been keeping my eyes on him ever since he joined UKIP, actually. But yeah, I've got to say, I really, really liked this. So, Gibraltar's Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo, he's come out against Sargon because Sargon was there recently. He's been doing a sort of change my mind style thing, which again, perfect, best thing he could do. Someone's there like, oh, what did this rape tweet person say? They Google him and see him just having conversations with normal people. You know, he got that disabled bloke on that could barely speak. It was like loving him, and I thought, you know, how many people are searching Sargon and finding that? So anyway, before he even got a chance to put out a single video, Picardo was disgusted by him, and apparently the team actually found him, asked him to come and debate, and he wouldn't. But in terms of what I was saying about Sargon, this was his response, and it was stunning. Really, really good. Check this out.
Oxford-educated twat! Fabian! Debate me! Fabian! I know you're out there, Fabian! You're out there somewhere! I will find you! Fabian! Come out and face me, you coward!
See, that's brilliant, man. Look. This is the bad guy. This is the guy that they're currently... Oh, no, let's not autoplay. Let's get rid of all that shit. This is the guy that they're smearing as being pro... having sex with boys and all that, and pro-rape and all that. And it's all nonsense, isn't it? And the thing is, for me, that video is the sort of thing that you would post to your mates. And that's what he's going for. Again, will it work? I don't know. Before the Brexit Party was formed, I would have said, no way. I would have said, yeah, he's going to fucking hammer it. Now the Brexit Party's there. They're going for some of the sort of... They're siphoning it off, but they'll come down. They've been smeared and all the rest of it. I mean, the Brexit Party aren't running anyone locally. And no one's talking about the local elections at the moment. It's really odd, isn't it? I don't know what to say because it's all so up in the air. Usually it's so bloody obvious, but at the moment everything's everywhere. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying what he's doing to politics at the moment. And to be honest, even if he's smeared and destroyed politically, I mean, his channel's not going anywhere. Even if he's destroyed politically, if he can encourage more of these sit-down debates and stuff, fucking brilliant. I'm all for that. I'm not a huge fan of Louder with Crowder. I have a lot of respect for what he does, the way he does it, the way he funds it. I've got a lot of respect for the format, although he's obviously too poorly at the moment to do it properly, and you can tell. But in terms of change my mind, huge respect. That could just put Trump in the White House and Trump's successor, that sort of approach, because people aren't doing it. How crazy is it that, like, just having conversations with people you disagree with is becoming a thing, a controversial thing? He's actually had, like, strikes, hasn't he, and restricted mode on his conversations, and which is just insanity to me. Is Brexit Party a dilution of the vote share? That's from Dunk. Yes, fucking Nigel Farage is such an egotistical prick that when he should have sat down with Batten and said, how are we going to do this? He didn't. He smeared them. And I don't think that's the way to go. I think it's cheap, easy political points. And it's already coming to bite him because he was like, UKIP's too racist for me now, so I have no choice but to form the Brexit Party. It's like, fuck you, mate. You just want the love. You want the love, the attention. You want to be back on top. He then smeared the fuck out of UKIP, and what annoyed me about that was it's so obvious what was going to happen in that now all his candidates are having to, well, not all of them, but a lot of his candidates are having to slip away because they're getting smeared themselves. If he had just put his ego in check just a little bit, just enough to just sit down with Batten and said, we could rule this country. And they could. They really fucking could. If they'd have just sat down and said, how are we going to do this? Where are we going to run? How are we, you know what I mean? They could have done a deal so that the Brexit Party focused on London. I don't know. Or just taken certain wards. But no. They're going to run Anne fucking Widdecombe against him. It poisons the well, doesn't it? I got one more thing about the Sargon thing, and it's Mike. Mr. sharing, then deleting blatantly cropped videos of Sargon steel manning his opponent's opinions, which again I think is a very healthy thing to do, which we don't do enough because we're so scared of being misquoted. Yeah, he's on him again, isn't he? Like an absolute prick. And then Mark Di Stefano. Mark, we are doing a video on you very, very soon, you BuzzFeed piece of shit liar. He's the same one that Mark got Count Dankula's channel demonetized in its entirety, and he's the one who's like just innocently asking for quotes from these people before things have even fucking happened. And here he is. Twitter has suspended the EU election campaign accounts of Stephen Yaxley Lennon (brackets Tommy Robinson), because we've got to say both names. We've got to say both names, people. I wonder if he does that with Elton John. But yeah, and Carl Benjamin (brackets Sargon of Akkad), both who have been banned, who are trying to loophole the platform. You, Mark, are a lying piece of shit. They weren't. Right, here's the thing. They have both been banned. They have. No clear reasons were given in each instance, unfortunately. Which Twitter really needs to get hold of, because people can just fill it up with whatever conspiracy theory they want. They weren't necessarily loopholing the platform. It is a grey area. I can't speak on Tommy Robinson, but Carl Benjamin, I've got no reason to not think this, he didn't run the account. And he's had enough Twitter accounts to know not to do this. He specifically had someone else running the account, and it was his election account. Now, the reason that this prick is... I can't stand him, this is muddy waters. This is grey area. This is very interesting territory. Twitter has dominated the public sphere in terms of political conversation. It has. And you can go on about, oh, it's a private thing, they can do what they want, and they can. But also, if you and 5,000 of your mates decide to harass someone and harass Twitter until they are then deleted, that's not necessarily a private person. You're not necessarily respecting their free speech, that private thing. You're harassing that private company until they delete it. So, you know, they do that. They'll start these harassment campaigns and then stand aside from it. Now, Twitter is undeniably the home of political debate. Undeniably. So, if they're going to get rid of Stephen Lennon's campaign account and Carl Benjamin's campaign account, are they interfering with elections? This is a serious thing that we need to look at. They let Hamas go on there. They let Antifa dox people all day long on this fucking website. So they're definitely willing to be flexible about their rules. 100%. Fucking Owen Jones. Owen Jones openly doxed someone. It was about 6 or 7 weeks ago. Openly. Proudly. Someone called him a homophobic slur on a DM, so he posted a screenshot of that, and I'm not defending the slur, I'm not defending the insult. He posted it with the guy's name, then he followed it up with his place of work and crowdfunded the destruction of this man's life. That's against terms of service. Owen Benjamin does it. I mean, where's Mark's tweet about that? Where's the BuzzFeed article taking Owen Benjamin down? I mean, Owen Jones, bloody hell, Owen Jones. Owen Benjamin's got his own... He's got his own problems right now. He's gone right off the deep end. But yeah, it wasn't a loophole. It was a campaign account. But yeah, Happy Dogs just said, it's only Sargon's official account, not his Backworlds man. Yeah, I have seen that. What's Hayden doing with a dildo? That's the reward you get. Guys, if you look in the description, you can go on Streamlabs and drop us a tip, and you'll get the dildo. So if you're already subscribed and you really must see it, throw me $1 or $2 and we'll do that. But yeah, fuck you, Mark. Fuck you up the ass. You've done so many smear pieces now. You're going to get your own one. You are definitely getting your own one in return. Before we move on from this, though, in terms of the EU elections, again, Tommy Robinson, for anyone that doesn't know, he went to Wivingshire, which isn't too far away from me, to launch his account. Apparently, he gave away free burgers that weren't... free burgers. They were paid. I've not looked into it, to be honest, because I've not got time, but this is very interesting, and I brought this up here. I hope you can see it all right. It doesn't look too great on my what's going on there? I didn't mean to do that. So let's make that a little bit bigger. No, it's not. There we go. This is what your EU voting card looks like. It works slightly differently to normal voting in that it is proportional representation. Now, love, hate, or being different to Tommy Robinson, something very, very exciting is going on here because he's running as an independent. I was keeping an eye on this because Jared Batten specifically and clearly said Tommy Robinson is not going to be running for UKIP. As soon as he announced, I was like, oh, straight on there. I want to know. Politicians lie. All of them lie. Did he lie about this? No. Tommy Robinson is an independent. This isn't his name, but I've just brought it up for purposes of demonstrating my point here. Now, right now, we've got the Conservatives, we've got the Green Party, Labour, Lib Dems, UKIP. There'll be a few others depending where you are. Obviously, the Brexit Party is going to be right there. People in the northwest of England are going to see these things here. They're going to see UKIP, all these names. Now, right there on his own is going to be Tommy Robinson, independent. Now, I am very, very intrigued to see how this goes because even if you don't agree with Tommy Robinson's perspective, I certainly don't agree with the way he goes about things. I think there's some hills that he dies on that are actually, yeah, you know, if Channel 4 did a documentary about the exact same thing that he's talking about, and it was a middle-class, Oxford-educated dude, you know, with his concerned face, letting us know how bad this situation is with, you know, the thousands of girls being raped because of the colour of the skin, that would be huge. It'd be huge. Dispatches, whatever, you know, it'd be a big thing. Because Tommy Robinson says it, and because he goes about it in a bloody awful manner, I think he gets a disproportionate amount of hate and smears. Now, here's the thing, right? With all the shit that he gets, and think about this in Wythenshawe, how many people are going to be like, yeah, fuck it, came down here and he saw us? How many people are going to see his name on its own there and go, and it'll be just like Brexit, it'll be just like Trump. That cross won't necessarily mean I agree with everything Tommy Robinson says and stands for. That cross might just be a big, fat fuck you. And that's why I'm intrigued about the Northwest, man. This is insane. Can you imagine Tommy Robinson being in Europe with fucking Carl Benjamin and Count Dankula? The three of them having time to speak. Because here's the thing, man. You get the best thing that ever happened to Nigel Farage was him getting banned from speaking. Excuse me. You know, he got that time out for calling so and so. Was it stupid or something? He called him a little name, whatever it was. That time out was the best thing that ever happened to Nigel Farage. It made him. It absolutely made him. Now, you know, in terms of the whole tape over the mouth thing, Tommy Robinson, he does get deplatformed. They don't give clear reasons. His suspension on YouTube, his invisibility cloak that they put over him was insane. I clicked that link. I've not got it up right now. It said even if they don't break the terms of service, but they are close. That's the reason they're given. He didn't break the terms of service, but he was close. He had our government pressuring YouTube to delete him. Our government. So even if you're going to stand by that thing of like that bullshit nonsense that people throw out about free speech, well, it only means the government. No, it doesn't. It's a cultural phenomenon. We all need to respect free speech. We all need to. If you try and destroy someone and stop them even feeding their family because you don't agree with their opinions, you can't hide behind the government thing. But even in Tommy Robinson's case, it is governmental. And a lot of people are angry and a lot of people are feeling like they're not being listened to. And I am seriously intrigued. And I'll be honest, that shit happens, man. If I'm sat here the night, we're thinking of doing a live election special from down in the studio. If that shit does happen, me and Aidan are going to be down at the studio laughing our fucking tits off. We are, because we're going to have our very own Trump then, aren't we? Mixing things up. Because it's all fucked anyway. It's all ridiculous anyway. The whole system's crashing down right now, so of course we're going to get Tommy Robinson. Intriguing. I'm very, very intrigued to see what would happen. Let's just check the chat before we move on. Chappie said YouTube is a joke. It is, but you've got to think of it from their point of view, man. In terms of the the big social medias, they're actually the best one. They stand by your... Oh, I've left WhatsApp open. Let's get rid of that. They stand by people's right to free speech as much as they can. They really, really do. And you've got to think, like, one person puts one bad video out, right? And it's monetized, and the whole mob jumps on them. How dare you fund this? Blah, 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 blah. And then advertisers walk away from everything. They Procter & Gamble just pull out completely, and YouTube's fucked. And it can just be one video that takes them down. The recent one was those pedophiles commenting on kids' videos. Just commenting on the videos. What the fuck can people do about that? So, yeah, I'm not necessarily saying YouTube aren't necessarily the good guys, but you've got to think of it from their point of view. They try the hardest within that big tech thing to protect free speech. I know it doesn't seem like it, but they really honestly do. They really, really do, and you've got to think of it from their perspective. Yes, it is a joke. Yes, they do horribly immoral things, but also you've got to think of why. It's not because they're sitting there going, how can we fuck these people and all that. No. The likes of Crowder, the likes of the right-wing people that do get fucked over, it's because mobs are mass flagging. They're gaming the system. Let's have a look. Just Light. Thank you, Boss Home. Little Glob! Yeah, hey! I like Little Glob. How are you doing? Thanks for all your shares and stuff recently. You're amazing. Guys, we're going to move on, but before we do, let's actually do the start of the show. I just jumped in with that, didn't I? So, trigger warning. Get yourself on triggerwarning.tv. There's links to our podcast right there. You can see it. And, I've not got the mouse showing. I must have changed. Oh, look. I've got mysterious mouse things. So there's our podcast right in the middle. You can see our latest YouTube video. You can go on Patreon there if you want to join up for as little as $1 a month. A lot of you put more than $1 in, actually. You're absolutely amazing. Really, really amazing. That donate button in itself is a separate thing. It's not like we're kind of going to redo this soon, but donate is just straight up PayPal. These links are people we like. None of it's paid. None of us support them. There's Richie. We got a few weird articles as well, and if you want to join us on the live chat as well, you can do. This is completely, so you can watch the video here, and foreign servers. So this is if you don't like YouTube, you don't like the algorithms spying on you, we have zero tracking, zero algorithms. There's a chat room right there, and you can say whatever the hell you want, dude. If you're gonna say like weird racist shit, or if you're gonna dox people, you're probably gonna get banned. But ultimately, like, you know, my tolerance, when I say racist shit, I don't mean like, you know, power plus privilege and all that nonsense. You can basically say whatever you want. Absolutely fine. I don't mind. Go ahead. Free speech is respected by me. And again, we had it the other day with someone saying, oh, I expect you to delete my comment now, because it was on the Extinction Rebellion thing. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, you're not going to delete anything. I don't give a shit. Like, you not agreeing with me that's not in itself reason enough for a delete. No. I've deleted one comment off our YouTube recently, and it's because it was just linking. It was an actual link out to a really dodgy spam. It got highlighted as spam, and I was like, no. I don't want people coming on our videos and going, ooh. You know, if you've got a point to make it. Don't link to some really sketchy blog with loads of pop-ups. And yeah, that's only because YouTube highlighted it as spam. Did you see the guy actually go on our environmental videos? And we really triggered someone really, really hard. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Guys, if you want me to talk about anything, please let me know. My DMs are open if you want to be private, or drop me a tweet, or just say it in the chat. Right, let's move on. Just briefly on this one. So this has come out recently. You know, Britain can and must work with Hawaii. I don't know how to say this. Huawei on 5G. And this appeared in the Telegraph way before it was announced, way before anything was put out, because there was a leak from the cabinet. Oh, you can fuck off. I'm not paying for the rest of the article. Now, there's two things going on here. The first is, I don't like Theresa May. I don't like the way she does things. I don't appreciate her politics. I think she's the most pathetic Prime Minister we've had in living memory. And I remember John Major. But she should be able to sit down with her cabinet and discuss things without it leaking. This is fucking serious. This is. Whoever's done this, honestly, they need to be made an example of. There needs to be certain lines. I want government transparency, of course I do. But you've got, like me and Aidan let you know pretty much everything that we talk about. But we still have private conversations. We might talk about like different ideas for Patreon gifts, different ideas for shows. We don't put all that out there because it would if we're brainstorming, it would damage it. Although we do put quite, actually, if you listen to the podcast, you do hear most of the ideas. It's almost every single one of them. But we don't put absolutely every. There's a line of privacy there, and this applies to any business and government especially. It's disgusting that these leaks. I mean, it's been happening constantly since she came into power. Oh, fuck off, Happy Dog. And this is serious. And again, I always say this, if you can't defend the people you don't like, I've just defended Tommy Robinson, I don't like his politics. If you can't defend the people you don't like, you ain't worth shit, right? And I fucking hate Theresa May. I genuinely hate her. And not in a, oh, fuck the Tories kind of way, because that's just lazy. I hate her in terms of her principles and her politics. She's a pathetic woman, but she should at least have the basic respect that a Prime Minister deserves, man. She can't run the country if this sort of stuff is leaking out. It's insane. But I will also say this. In terms of Huawei, what the fuck are we doing? I know some people have got reservations about 5G and all the rest of it, but let's just take the 5G controversy out of there for a minute, right? We are doing a major infrastructure update in this country. Why the fuck are we going to a Chinese company for that? That's insane to me. I mean, is this? I'm not here like I don't understand this. I pay my taxes, and why the fuck are my taxes going to another country to upgrade our infrastructure? It's bad enough what we've done with the trains in terms of just selling them off to like all these foreign companies. There's certain things, like I want the trains nationalised or I want them properly privatised, one or the other. This halfway shit is bullshit. But I want them nationalised in the sense of like my taxes go in, my train fare goes in, and it goes back in. Why the fuck are we giving a foreign company? I'm sure I mean, don't get me wrong. People are going on about, well, is it safe? They've got, foreign governments have got access. I don't give a fuck about all that. I give a fuck about how many jobs are British people not getting on the back of this, or not even British people. Actually, no, that is the wrong way to put it. How many jobs are people living in this country not getting because of it? Yeah, I don't give a fuck if they're Polish or whatever. If they're here, even if they're fucking Chinese, if they're here and they're working and the taxes are going through and everything. Great. It's all part of the thing. It's an economy, a healthy economy, isn't it? Why the fuck would we put 5G in the hands of a foreign company? What the fuck are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? We're giving billions to companies that don't even have boats to sort out fucking shipping, and now we're doing this. This is just fucking madness to me. Yeah, and all this stuff like obviously I've fallen on the side of Brexit. I've fallen on the side of leave. Now, I voted Remain, but I'll go for Brexit now. But if we do leave, what are we left with? These fucking planks that are handing out major contracts to foreign companies. What the fuck? Don't get me wrong, right? Me, as a private individual, if I want to buy a Samsung or I've got a Google Pixel, Google an American company, whatever, but that's my choice as an individual, right? I'm going to go for what's best. But with government, surely there should be a little bit of bias about it. Surely that's my money there. That's your money. Surely the whole point is that there should be a little bit of nationalism in that sense. Why the fuck are you going? Do we have no tech companies here? Last time I checked, we were fucking huge in the tech industry. I just don't get it. It really angered me, that. It really angered me. Guys, if you're watching, I've not seen a ding for ages. Click the trigger warning logo and do a subscribe and watch loads of the other videos as well. Hit the bell, hit everything. We go live Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, man. You don't want to miss it, but if you do, we always put up loads of highlights for you because we love you. Hello, Natalie. Thanks so much for joining us. Watching you use Brave browser. Do you take basic attention tokens or ticked? No, Dunk, I'm sorry. Look, we've only just got Streamlabs going, mate. I mean, we you know, if you could use Streamlabs for now, or even better, jump on our Patreon, even if it's just like $2-3 a month. We'd rather get less and it be consistent, because then, for example, the fact that we've just taken out foreign servers, which means we've got free speech protections on the trigger warning forums and that. We can only do that with consistency. So if you could jump on our Patreon, so we are looking at doing something separate, but it'll come when we come. We do all this in our spare time. Hello, non-triggerists. No one's signed in. I don't know if that's because it's broken or whatever, but trigger warning TV looks good. 12K 375. Oh yeah, guys, let me know what you're doing. Let me know. A lot of you tend to be hungover when you're watching, which is fine. I don't mind that. That's awesome. But yeah, let me know what you've been doing. Let me know what you've been reading. Let me know what news stories you'd like me to talk about. I'm going to actually, can I go back to, oh no, we'll do that bullshit in a minute. Oh, those guys. Nah, fuck it. Well, there's a quick preview of everything I'm going to talk about in just a minute anyway. Right. Bloody hell. The San Diego shooting. Guys, this is too new, so I'm not going to go into it in terms of who did it. Apparently they got the arsehole, that's good. When they do release his name might even be in here, I don't know, I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to fucking ever speak his name or intentionally show a picture of the absolute spanner that did this, because go fuck himself. But I do want to talk about the reaction. I'm sure we'll go into the details on Tuesday's show, and what really annoys me with this, what has really, really frustrated with me, you know, we've had a huge shooting again, San Diego, and it's the Jews this time. Now, when the Christchurch shooting happened, straight away it was PewDiePie's fault. Straight away it was Ben Shapiro's fault. Straight away it was any right-wing organisation that's doing well, regardless of how, you know, partisan or fair or anything that they are. I mean, fucking Ben Shapiro. Jesus Christ. If the Christchurch shooting was his fault, by their reasoning, by the Owen Joneses of the world, who is responsible for the San Diego shooting? I would say it is the individual, this 19-year-old Brit. I would put it on him. But going by the radical sort of logic of like, well, it must be PewDiePie, we need to ban PewDiePie. Who did it then? Who did it? Is it Labour's fault? Is it Corbyn's fault for not getting on top of these things? Is it the New York Times for sharing this? Disgusting imagery. Now, here's the thing, man. I stand by the New York Times doing this. I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. I think it's anti-Semitic. But I honestly would prefer things were just out there. And my issue at the moment in terms of this instant hypocrisy, in terms of like, let's find out the race and religion of the victims, and that affects the narrative. There's an inconsistency there, and this inconsistency will come back to bite you. It will. It really, really will. And you know what happens? I mean, this was the New York Times. The Times of Israel are resharing it to say, "What the fuck are you doing?" The same rules that you use to destroy people, the same rules that you use to deplatform people, will fuck you. Hence, all these layoffs at BuzzFeed and all the rest of it. And again, Owen fucking Jones. After the Christchurch massacre, no more resignation to and tolerance of the media whipping up racism and bigotry. It should have happened before, but we have to fight back. That is actually one of the tamer tweets that he's done on the subject. Well, if Christchurch is their fault, who is to blame? Is it your mates, Owen? Is it Momentum? Because I see them share a lot of this shit. I see them share a lot of this, you know, to the point where any criticism of Israel has been muddied so much now that any criticism of Israel comes across as anti-Semitic. I mean, a lot of it fucking is. But this really scares me, man. It really, really scares me. I do want to get into this, and I'm going to go into it later. Though there has been a screenshot that I haven't been able to verify yet that this fella posted on 8chan in the same way that the Christchurch one did, and they're saying they contacted the FBI and the FBI didn't do anything. I would love to see if this is true. I can't wait for the investigation. I can't speak on it one way or the other at the moment. I know some people are going all in like, this is disgusting, the FBI ignored it because they were Jews and all that other nonsense, but let's just hold back on this, because some people just fake screenshots, some people, this 8chan post did appear, but that doesn't mean this person is telling the truth when they said they phoned the FBI. They could just be fishing for likes, attention, whatever. But yeah, again, going by the far left's logic, who's to blame? Let me know. I'd love to know. Apart from Owen Jones. You know what I mean, though? If we're going to keep saying this stuff, if we're going to keep sending this rhetoric out there, then it's going to fuck you over. And again, this carries on from it, actually. Do you remember the whole Christian thing that Aidan was talking about on Thursday? Sorry, the Easter. We've finally got it to Easter Sunday now. They're not just Easter worshippers. So when there's been reports, as there was always going to be, that there's been backlash against Muslims, which is, you know, the main reason for these disgusting terrorist attacks. The New York Times has suddenly remembered Sri Lanka's Muslims face an angry backlash. It's funny how they suddenly remember the religion of these people, isn't it? They faced a backlash. I mean, actually, Channel 4, I can't stand Channel 4 these days, but they did a really good piece that went to a very, very mixed area in Sri Lanka, and it was, people were going out of their way to say, no, this will not divide us. There's lots of different religions. We all live together. We all support each other. And, you know, respect to Channel 4 for putting that message out there. Whether you can take the facts and present anything you want. And I do like the fact that they try to spread that message. Unlike this thing, man. Why won't they just say Christians? I'm not a Christian, but Jesus Christ, guys. You can say it, you know. You are allowed to say it. JRaw123 from Houston has joined us on YouTube. From YouTube on to the trigger warning chat. He's saying he's lost. I'm not sure what's going on there. So sorry. I've got a healthy stream notification. It's telling me I'm live. I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. I don't know. I can't help you, but that's why our thing's there. Nice to join you, man. Nice that you've joined us. You can watch it just the same, and you can get on the radio. We don't know how long the radio's going to last at the moment, because it's a lot of money, and we might put the money something else. Mr. Mortimer has tweeted me saying, great show. Thanks for joining me, dude. Thank you so much. And do you know what? There's too much tweets there. There's too many, but thanks everyone joining us. Just before we move on, Dunk Naylor has said China makes the hardware on the cheap, then the British workers do the install. That's the cost saving for the government. Well, they shouldn't be saving that cost then. They can send missiles to blow up people in other countries when they need to at 25,000 a pop, can't they? Hey, fuck China making the hardware. If you run a private business and you want to get stuff made in China, go for it. But our government shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be doing that. We give them taxes on the here's the thing, right? Left or right, ultimately, in terms of taxes, whatever, you know, taxation's theft, blah, blah, it's redistribution, whatever you want to label taxes, we all kind of agree that money should go to supporting society in some way. You know, we all have different ideas about it, but that's kind of a core agreement that we all have as human beings that pay taxes. That, you know, that we should have a well-funded police force that who are interested in taking care of protecting us. Do you know what I mean? That we should have honest court system. You know, with a respect for actual justice. And fair trials and all the rest of it, and in terms of infrastructure, you know, we want good schools, we want good hospitals, we want good roads. We all agree on this in some way or another, wherever you are on the political spectrum. Surely sending God knows how much money to China, which we already fucking do. I mean, Jesus Christ, I get delivery from China every week, and you know what? It's amazing. It enriches my life. It does. because it's cheap and the quality's been going up and up and up. I mean, in terms of some of their tech now, they are world leaders. They're not fucking about. But in terms of our taxes, no. Have the fucking balls, Theresa May, to step forward and say this. Why do we keep sending all these contracts abroad? And this isn't some nationalist like British. This is my tax money. Surely. Private business, do whatever the fuck you want. Outsource your call centres to India. Do anything you want. I don't care. You are a private business. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing in terms of how I choose to spend my money. And I apply this to everything, from my poor ass right up to billionaires. Let's stop lecturing people how they spend their money. But in terms of the fucking government, in terms of our tax money, that should be benefiting our economy directly. If we don't have a factory that can make that shit, open one. Get someone to open one. Fuck that shit. D Souls join us. Yo, 6:34 a.m. on a Sunday. What am I doing here? I don't know, man. By the sounds of it, do what a lot of people are doing and light one up or get yourself a whiskey, eh? Everyone else just seems to be getting wrecked. There's my pink bolt. Thanks, Soph. What are you trying to say? Where's my manly Red Bulls, eh? Getting me my no added sugar, strawberry and kiwi pink bolt. From Sainsbury's, the most effeminate of all the supermarkets. Apart from Waitrose, though, Jesus Christ, look at the state of this. So, Extinction Rebellion. Rebelling by going to a Waitrose and playing dead. Jesus Christ. You absolute tools. Jesus Christ. I mean, and taking the kids as well. That's just weird to me, man. Like, come on. Just like your little toddler. What the fuck? Why are you getting them to... If my little girl goes on the floor at a supermarket, get the fuck up now. Get up. God knows what's down there. The lady in front of me yesterday. So, and I'm not... You know, we're all going to end up like this. So this isn't having a dig at her, but she stunk a piss. She obviously had issues holding it in, and I seriously, I was like doing the thing like that, just turning away, like passing things over. Oh my God, she stunk. Why would you put your kid down there on that? Oh my God, they're getting desperate now, aren't they? Again, with the Extinction Rebellion, give me a clear set of motherfucking demands. What do you want? What do you want? Just tell me what you fucking want. I like her from the Green Party. What's she called? The Green MP. Oh God, I can't remember. Caroline something. I like her. I genuinely like her. I don't agree with her politics, but I think her way of going about things is stunning. She's open to conversation. She sits down with people she doesn't agree with, and she's not a dick with him. But she's given an answer. It came up on Question Time, and she was like, the Green New Deal. Have you read the Green? Because, by the way, American friends, we've got our own Green New Deal here. And it's almost as ridiculous as your one. It's just fucking pure fantasy. It's just repackaged socialism. It's insane. I want numbers. I've seen people say, we'll give to NGOs. You've got to be more specific than that, motherfucker. How much do these non-government organisations need? How much, and what are they going to do with this money? Right? If you're lying down in a fucking Waitrose, how many trees do we need to plant to become carbon neutral? Because right now we've got more trees in Europe than we did 100 years ago. The earth is actually fucking flourishing in terms of trees. Overall, as an average. So you tell me. You've got my attention. What do we do? You fucking scumbags. Here's the thing, right? There's dirty, scummy, conniving people behind every single political movement. And all these people genuinely...
Well, as some of you may know...
Oh, no. They all care. They really do. And I respect that. I genuinely respect that. But who's the person behind them trying to grab power with these vague demands? The vaguer they are, the looser it is in terms of someone sneaking in. Fuck that bullshit, man. Fuck that. Clarity. Alexandra Cortez wants to ban cow farts. Did you all see that thing about the seaweed? Apparently, giving cows seaweed reduces it between 95 and 99%. Reduces the meat. Fucking seaweed farms are cropping up everywhere. You don't need. This is the thing, man. Free markets sort these problems out. Fucking idiot. And they're all going on about meat as well. And you know what? If we all became vegetarians, there's so many humans. It would be insane. We're still going to be farming. We're still going to be doing it. You've not solved the problem. You've just used the global climate to have a go at me for eating meat. That's what it is. Let's be honest. You want to be veggie and vegan. I totally get it, man. I respect that. I do. Felbriggs Videos has said too many organisations allow their objectives to get muddied by multiple issues. It's a great way of achieving nothing. It is. And here's the thing with climate change as well. There's like hundreds of factors. There's hundreds of things going on that need to be considered, you know? And that's the problem. They know that. The people at the top know this. The people at the top of the climate change protests know this. The people in government know this. This is an insanely complicated issue. If we get rid of one thing, is it going to cause other problems? I mean, there was a thing I read the other day saying that about how smog in certain cities is actually helping the overall effect because it's trapping certain things. And it's like if they de-smogged all the cities tonight, like, you know, if they just instantly de-smogged them all, that would actually contribute to the warming of the earth. Because it'd stop trapping certain things, and I don't fully understand it, but it's like, but that's the problem. There's so many complicated things going on, and things need to happen slowly and carefully, because our efforts to solve the problem, if they happen too quick, can have just a destructive effect on the ecosystem, and that's the point. And government knows this, and climate people know this, which again is why it comes down to you as an individual. It really, really does. Everyone's going on about the governments. I was talking to a guy about it, lovely guy, and he said, well, what about, you know, emissions from companies and stuff? And it's like, well, we know that's getting better. We know that's improved. But here's the thing in terms of individual choice. You buy from companies that you know are ecologically friendly. That's how you do it. Market forces. It still comes down to an individual. And companies love to virtue signal. Write to them. Ask them how they're environmentally friendly. Ask them how they're doing it. They fucking love to show off. Although I will say as a sidebar, Gillette, Procter & Gamble, all Procter & Gamble's sales are up, apart from Gillette, which is 1% down. Good. Fuck you. Fuck you for pathologizing being a male. You absolute tools. I'm glad. I'll never buy Gillette again with that fucking boys will be boys campaign. Fuck you. Stick to... just telling me how sharp the bloody thing is. Happy Dog says if they tried that in Aldi's, they would have been squashed by the 16 mobility scooters. Mate, if they'd have tried it in my Aldi's, I would have gone fucking nuts at him. I don't swear and scream in front of my daughter, but God, she would have learnt a few things about the other side to her daddy that day. The other side. Look at you fucking twats. Oh, God. You self-important pricks. That you think lying down in a fucking Waitrose. How's that going to stop the assholes that don't, you know, like my building's got like 30 flats in it, right? We've got 2 bins, we've got 2 paper bins, we've got 1 bottle bin, right? Nobody recycles. It's fucking annoying, serious. The main bin fills up, rubbish goes everywhere. We've got rats, chipmunks, all sorts of bullshit running around. Not chipmunks, squirrels, right? How are you going to get them to recycle by lying down in a motherfucking Waitrose, you arseholes? Oh, people can't make guacamole. Oh, you fucking twats. It starts at an individual level. If I can get my neighbours to start recycling more, and they start thinking about it in terms of this stuff, then it grows. You've got to get the seeds in there. People genuinely do want to do good if you just incentivize them. And again, I'm not going over the figures then, but things are getting better. Let them know. Sidewalk Closed has joined us. Mate, you are legitimately on my death list. Stop doing coming soon videos. I want to see the full thing. I know it's a troll at this point. I know there's no full thing. But stop it, man. But yes, check out Sidewalk Closed. He's a good lad. Dude, how many drinks do you need? I know. Well, I've got my coffee. I've got my hydration. Dunk Naylor has said I'd happily join Extinction Rebellion if George Soros is going to pay me 10 quid an hour to lay in the supermarket aisle for 8 hours. That shit's actually happened, hasn't it? I know, who was that foreign person that visited? Was it Saudi Arabia? And they actually hired actors to go and protest. It was like, what? You know, I mean, you look it up. I've not got it up right now, so I can't do it. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Let's get rid of this. Fucking... Oh, yeah. Another thing on this, man. I can't believe this. So, obviously, the Christchurch shootings. This fella, Philip Arps, has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of distributing the mosque video and remain in jail until he's sentenced on June 14th. He faces a maximum penalty of 14 years in prison. How insane is that? Firstly, how insane is it that New Zealand has banned the sharing of any materials related to the New Zealand shooting, the Christchurch massacre? How insane is it that they've banned... You're not even allowed to look at it if you live there. You're not even allowed to read his manifesto. Now, this guy, I'm not sure the dates on it, but did he share this video before or after they made it into law? And secondly, how can they pass laws that quickly banning something? Doesn't that scare you? If you live in New Zealand, that they can just turn it around like that. There should be checks and balances. That's insane. But they're not at war. You know, I understand if a nuke went off in Manchester right now, yeah, fair play. Theresa May needs to make decisions right now. But in terms of someone sharing a video, I mean, admittedly, he doctored it. Apparently, he put. I mean, I've not seen it, but he sent it to unknown persons inserting... Oh, right, here we go. Prosecutors accused the 44-year-old man of sending the video to an unknown person and instructing that person to insert crosshairs and include a kill count. Disgusting. Prosecutors say he then forwarded the entire chilling 17-minute video to 30 associates. Right, okay, that's disgusting. That is like, you know, a kill count. God knows what else. I don't know. Sound effects. That's a disgusting act. Okay, but what the fuck has it got to do with the government? What's their role in this? Who's the victim? I mean, apart from the Streisand effect of the fact that I want to see the fucking thing now. Yeah, it's hurtful. Yeah, it's insensitive. Yeah, it was really stupid and poorly timed. But up to 14 years in jail, I could go out and kill someone right now and get less than that. Are you insane? This is the thing where it's these extreme things where make you realise the illusions of the freedom that we have, under sort of, you know, social democracies that we live in. That is bad, man. You can't ban videos. You can't. I mean, we know my mate Aidan got fucked over for that, didn't we, eh? Sidebar, you know, LiveLeak got banned in New Zealand and Australia for refusing to take the video down. This is a quote. They got rid of it straight away. They literally got rid of it straight away, and still they got banned because they're just waiting for an excuse, aren't they? Oh, guys! Actually, before we move, yeah, please hit the trigger warning logo, please. But yeah, I saw this, man. I saw this, and I wanted to have a little talk. I tell you what, let me calm down. Let me collect myself for a moment, because I've been talking non-stop for like 55 minutes now. Chappie has said, funny how minutes after the shooting they came up with a 600-page paperwork about confiscating firearms. I know. It's quite interesting, actually, because there was, you know, that when they did, well, this isn't related to this, but when they do talk about gun control, they often cite Australia. They had one mass shooting, took all the guns away. Crime went up, down, you could say it. But then the other side to that is, you know, like any and all, really, generally, statistics or presenting facts in that way, you alter the context, don't you? You don't talk about the fact that there's been a global reduction in crime overall, which Australia was in line with. And people never talked about the fact that New Zealand has got some of the loosest gun laws in the world, or did anyway, and New Zealand and Australia had a similar reduction in gun crime. So, you You know, everyone's going, oh, look what Australia, though, did the trick, didn't they? I mean, that kind of argument's gone out the window now because they've had a mass shooting. And now they're banning guns as well. It went through, didn't it? 10 days it took them. I don't know, man. I don't know. If any of you know what the Peterloo Massacre is, everyone from this is something that happened in my city, but and I'm gonna edit out certain things to present an argument. I'm gonna do it myself, but people from all over Manchester, Greater Manchester, right up the canals, were asked to come down, and this was like the birth of trade unions, the birth of like legitimate suffrage in this country. Actually, the birth of the Guardian newspaper when it had literally the day after the Guardian was born. People from all over the northwest were told, "Come to Manchester. We'll protest. We'll have it out. We'll get workers' rights. Blah blah blah." There was all the rest of it. They were asked to not bring their weapons. Back then, everyone carried blades or whatever, and they were specifically told, "Do not bring your weapons. You'll be safe." And our government literally murdered them. They rode through them on horses. It's called the Peterloo Massacre. My band Livestock Jihad, we've got an awesome song about it, which they didn't use for the movie. So go fuck yourself, because that's like the best song written about Peterloo Massacre ever. But yeah, you know, the last time we were told to put down our weapons, we were shown very, very clearly that who was in charge. And you know what? We never picked them up again, did we, eh? We let the government hand them to us in World Wars 1 and 2, you know. But after the Peterloo Massacre, the British government made it very fucking clear that you are not to be armed. And you know what? It concerns me, that. It really does concern me. Look at this shit in France right now. Look at the videos of the police and the army and that just storming the protesters and fucking them up. And I'm not saying that some of the protesters are genuinely immoral, evil people who just want to burn the world down. They're taking advantage of the situation, but there is an argument for being armed, man. Of course there is. Of course there is. Look what happened. We got fucked over. They murdered and slaughtered the poor people of Manchester, and I mean poor in the sense of like just basic serfs, slaves. They had nothing. They didn't own themselves in any manner whatsoever, and they were murdered. And you know what we did? We just took it like little bitches. We started the Guardian, and we got all these little victories, but ultimately there was a core thing removed there. And I see it all the time. Like, you know, British people we're sort of weakened forever at that point, and we always do it. You always get it down the pub when Paris is burning and everyone's going nuts. There's always the same conversation that happens, like, oh, they know how to protest over there, don't they? And we haven't quite got that thing here. We don't quite cross that line and really have the self-respect enough to properly stand up for it. And I'm not talking about these middle-class cunts in London right now all gluing themselves to the floor and shit. I'm talking about people genuinely having the self-respect enough to stand up and say, I own me. I own my time. I own my own self. And that's the end of it. And we don't have that there. And it all goes back to fucking arming yourself as well. We're all hammering on about not being able to carry knives at the moment. And I'm thinking, if I was a 14-year-old boy living in a really rough area right now and there was gangs everywhere, stabbing people, robbing people, you might not necessarily be a bad person, but I don't necessarily hold it against that young lad for carrying a knife. I don't. Because what the fuck are you supposed to do? And I'm not advocating for carrying knives here, but we can't have it both ways. If we are going to give up our arms, the country needs to be safe. There's no police, there's no order right now. It's all just going fucking mental. They're all going on about putting more officers on the streets right now, but that's not what they're doing. They're making the existing officers work overtime. They're making the existing officers give up their leave. They're not putting more on the streets. And I just think you can't have it both ways. If you're going to walk outside your own house and get fucked over, and then you've got, you know, some politician browbeating about, well, we need to, if you get caught with a knife, it's prison. And it's like, well, you're ruining someone's life there over the basic right to self-defense. And I'm not defending the gangs that are going around with knives and killing people. I'm not defending them. But I'm saying, why, you can't only... There's this weird thing of, like, where do we draw the line? Dunk Naylor said, in an unarmed populace, only the criminals would have guns. Well, that's the argument, isn't it? And there is an argument. The thing is, though, man, I'm happy for knife crime. I'm happy for it to be banned. If you've got a knife on you without a fucking good reason, yeah. But we have to live in a society that's safe for that to happen. And right now, we don't. We should have... If we're going to ban guns, then we should have open carrier knives. We should have it. At this point, until they sort fucking things out. Well, I'm out with my family at the moment. If I'm out with my family and someone decides to rob me, I've got zero way of effectively defending myself. Even mace is like, even on the police websites they say no, you're not allowed to use mace. It's like literally this is their advice: a rape alarm. That's their advice. That is the legal limit that you're safe. And at the moment, there is something there, man. I'm not allowed to defend myself. But the guy that doesn't give a fuck about going to prison anyways is fine carrying a knife. He don't give a shit. It's creepy, man. Creepy and not good. You need to arm yourself with harsh words to thrash the gang members. Here's the thing, right? I pay a bit more. I live in a little place, but I pay a bit more to live in a safe area. It's mostly just students, families around here, man. And, they're a bit noisy, they're a bit leery, walking around drunk. But it's safe. I don't give a fuck, man. Even the homeless people are chill as anything. And luckily, I'm in a position where I can make the choice to pay a bit more money and live in a safe area. I mean, sure, I've not got as big a place as I might have. God, I was looking at some of the prices the other day. I could live in a mansion for what I'm paying here. Which means I feel safe going out. But not everyone's got that, man. Again, it's this thing, isn't it? It's like what we were saying earlier about Tommy Robinson. How many of these frustrated people who are so disconnected from what they're talking about on Question Time, from what David Lammy's going on about and all that. How many of those disconnected people who are too scared to go out their own front door are going to put that cross next to Tommy Robinson and just say, fuck you? Just like they did with Brexit, just like they did with Trump, just like they're doing all over Europe right now. How many people are going to do that, man? And I don't know. There needs to be a basic level there. We don't just need more police. We need good police. And the problem is they're getting rid of the older ones that are there to train the newer ones. I've had a lot of involvement with the police recently. It was this horrible thing that I can't really go into because I don't want to jeopardise her safety and stuff like that. But I made a point of working with the police. They didn't even think to knock on my door and ask me about it. There was a major incident here. There was a long-running thing. It was really horrific. Kids were involved. They didn't even think to knock on my door. And I'm thinking, one of the older ones would have done that. Or if they had more time, they would have done that. I had to go out there and drag them in here. I was in my onesie, giving a full statement. Because I used to work in that industry, so I know how the statements work. I know how to do it. But I'm sat there in my onesie. Because I went out and I said, you need to come in here. And then I came in to get changed. They knocked on my door faster than I thought. So I literally opened the door in my underwear and I was like, I'll just put it back on again. Happy Dog said, we have very little rights of self-defense in the UK. You will be arrested if you're defending your property now. If someone is trying to wreck your car and you physically stop them, you're lifted. Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing, right? There's a lot of good police out there who, if you went and punched someone that was wrecking your car or went and got them, there's a lot of good police out there who legally should do you, but they'll give you a wink, and say, I mean, I've heard them say, oh, he's probably going to trip on the way to the cells kind of thing, especially if women are involved. But at the moment, our laws mean that you're working off the discretion of the officer that sees you. And my worry is for all of that like common law thing and common decency that we have, and we do have that. The other side is there's that thing where they can just fuck you whenever they want. Section 127 of the Online Communications Act is so vague that I could probably get done just for this podcast. Anyone could get done for anything because you can intentionally remove the context for a start, which is terrifying, and then there doesn't even have to be a victim. Insanity, madness, pure fucking madness. Thanks for your comments though, Happy Dog. But yeah, let's get back to this. I've been saying this for a long time at the moment, and let me be clear: social justice is a wonderful thing. We've just been discussing it with the police, and we've just been, we discuss it all the time. And social justice, small s, small j, is important. We all want it. We all want it. Social justice with capital SJ, SJWs, and all that. These guys are going off the fucking deep end right now, like in a scary manner, and someone put up this tweet, which I don't necessarily agree with all of it exactly, but it's becoming a religion. It's becoming a fanatical religion. We talked last week about how if you write the word bisexual, if you put a hyphen between bi and sexual, then to them, you're not using the appropriate language. It's a flag that you're not in the in-group, and they are becoming religious. They really remind me of that Game of Thrones, the people with the tattoos, the burns on them, and the shame, and the guy at the top of that was one of my favourite things of Game of Thrones. What was he called? I can't remember his name now, but the guy at the top of the fanatics was just as manipulative, and he was just as power hungry as any of them. But he had a lot of very enthusiastic people who thought they were doing the right thing, but they weren't. They were just feeding into this power, and this is it, man. White privilege is original sin. Check your privilege, convert, problematic, blasphemous. These things are right, man. These things are really our community, our denomination. This is very, very true. Regressive leftism is a religious faith. I really enjoyed that tweet. I thought it doesn't explain it all. I've seen much better ones, but I just thought I'd show you that because this shit is getting out of hand. These people are getting religious. And here's the thing. Growing up, I could see Christianity dying in this country, and I was glad for it. I didn't like it. I looked at stories of kids being abused, and I thought, well, yeah, we're better off without it, aren't we? But there's another side to that with human nature, in that do humans need to gravitate towards these organisational structures? Now that Christianity is sort of falling away, they're grabbing onto something in just the same way. Humans as an individual can be clever and logical and reasonable and articulate, but humans as a group, you see SJWs all chanting, people literally leading the chant, telling them what to say, and they say it over and over again, and it just affirms it again and again, and it's like this, it's mass hypnosis, isn't it? And again, look at the trans issues right now, and please, I'm not going into the whole fucking thing right now. There's a lot of very decent trans people out there that just want to get on with their lives, but there's also people who are abusing kids, and it is behind the banner of the SJW thing. It is behind this this sort of flag, isn't it? Where all the things that I grew up hating about Christianity, I now see reflected in the social justice movement. All of it, everything. This blasphemous thing, the special language so everyone knows you're on the in crowd. And these signs like this, I remember these signs. It used to be the absolute nut job Christians that had carry these. That's what I grew up with. And now, being a cis man, or just a man as it is, now cis man makes you a bigot. Because, think about that, man. Because I haven't cut off my own dick, I am now a bigot. That's like going into a monastery and not speaking a word for 30 years. That's that level of fanaticism. This is terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. Libertarians. Don't get me wrong, man. There's some nutcase libertarians out there. But just to be on the quest for liberty, for personal freedom in itself isn't a bad thing. Jesus Christ. Heteros. Are you heterosexual? This is some scary shit. Sorry, the hetero things is just off the screen there. I'm sorry about that. This is not good, man. This is not good. ICE. Lumping. And here's the thing, right? Paedophiles. Yeah, all right. I get that. The white supremacists. I get that. But it's lumping all these things together. Ben fucking Shapiro. Oh my God, the victim of some of. He's the victim of more hate speech than almost anyone else on the planet. It's insanity that it's like you'd put the Orthodox Jew. Jesus Christ. And then here we go. People who stop at yellow lights. That's how you know they've gone off the deep end, isn't it, eh? But I don't want to just slag them off. I don't want to do that. I do want to present something. You know, as fun as it is. Capitalists? What about... Wait, before we move on. Classists, right? Classists. I guarantee this same person hates fucking poor people because they don't talk the way they should. They don't use the language, the inclusive language. They might be good people, but they don't say the right words, do they? So they don't fit into your religion. How can you be against classists and then be against millionaires and CEOs and polluters? We're all polluters, love. Every single one of us. There's nothing you can do about that. But I've got to say, get yourself on Helen Pluckrose, HP Luckrose, H Pluckrose on Twitter. She's so cool, man. She talks about all the same stuff I do, but she has actually done the research. She's done the heavy lifting. I don't necessarily agree with every single word she says, but that's not the point. The point is that she really thinks these things out, and she's worth a follow, especially if you don't agree with her, especially if some of it's uncomfortable for you, because good, we're expanding our perspectives. She did a really good one the other day where one of these lunatics that are sharing these posters was saying that dogs are a tool of white supremacy. This is the latest. Dogs are a tool of white supremacy. Jesus Christ. And she made a really good point here that I really want to highlight. The question is not, did racism take place? But rather, how did racism manifest in this situation? So we start with the conclusion that racism must be present, but difficult to see, and then we look at it, and that is an important thing that you need to remember about the far regressive left. Not the majority. The majority of the people on the left are good people. You have to remember that. They're not the noisy ones, the ones you fight with, the ones you tut at, the ones that made that dickhead sign. They are a minority, but they are very, very loud. And this is one of the core beliefs. This is how it gets religious. This is how it gets fanatical. Everything's racist. So how do we do it? And there was a really, really good tweet. It's a form of magical thinking, blah, blah, blah. Please check Helen out. She's so good. She does these epic threads. But this is what really got it for me. It really clarified what I've been talking about, what I've been trying to get across to people. Did it seem to you that the white cashier served the black customer too quickly? She wanted him out the way because she's uncomfortable with his blackness. So there we go. Oh, it was too fast. Get rid of him. Did it seem she took her time checking out his stuff? Evidence that she resents having to serve a black person and does so grudgingly. This is one of my favourite examples of this that I've ever read, and this is why these three were so amazing getting all these hoax papers through, all the grievance study stuff. Like, if you've got this fever, this circular paranoid conspiracy stuff that they've got, then yeah, you can watch someone serving a black person in a shop, and no matter how it goes, it was a racist interaction. Fucking terrifying, man. Fucking terrifying. And the problem is, we've all got mates like this that are a bit too far and a bit right on, but right now they're getting together and they're teaching our kids. And they're idea laundering. They're all writing papers and then peer reviewing each other's papers. And it's this. Because they start out with the grievance and move on to the studies. But I did want to end this on a positive because Helen really does work positively towards all this. She's fucking great, man. Check her out. Please check her out. She's awesome. Guys, hit the TW logo. Not that one there. That's on our website, unless this is a clip and then I've put it over the top. Hit the TW circle, drop us a subscribe, watch more videos, ring the bell, join our Patreon, do everything, but most importantly, join us. Thank you so much for joining us live. We're on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays now, live to chat to you. If you can't join us live, we'll always put plenty of clips out for you. Something's gone wrong with the chat. I'm not seeing so much of it, so let me just try and have a look here. I think Chappie has said, I think the real reason so many youngsters are clamouring for freedom of some vague sort is because of unrest and dissatisfaction with present conditions. I don't believe this machine age gives full satisfaction in a spiritual way, if the term may be allowed. That's Robert E. Howard. That's an interesting one. I'm going to ponder on that. I mean, a big problem that I've got is the nanny state thing, you know, whereas I'll look at, like, they're trying to ban burgers from McDonald's, and I'll be like, fuck you, don't, you know, trying to ban burger advertisements and stuff. The problem is that there's kids growing up, and that's the only world they know. The only word they know is where mother government is that will protect you. And I think that's a big issue, man. Kids need to be out on their own. They need to get hurt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I take good fucking care of my daughter, but when she's out, when people talk to her, strangers talk to her, they always look at me, and I'm like, no, it's fine, because I want her to meet, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been a few weirdos, but no, but just general people on the street, that she needs those different perspectives and those different voices, and she needs now and again to just stare at people like, oh, you know, there's a guy the other day, we were all running around, there's another dad, and he's like, I'm gonna eat you, and I play that game with her all the time. But another, and he's seen me play it, which is why he did it, and it was cool, and we were all friendly and everything. Now, he played it, and she went and hid in the corner of this garden behind a shed for ages. She's like, that man's going to eat me. And it's like, she needs that. She needs to know that it's part of the world, man. It's the whole anti-fragile thing. I'm reading that at the moment. It's really, really important. J. Raw said, made it back on YouTube. I was listening to Sorry for Not Chatting. Oh, man, if you want to just chill and listen, that's absolutely fine. It's very, very early in the morning for some people. And a lot of you tend to be hungover. Let me just check these out as well. I live in Smyrna, USA. It's a law that all residents must own a firearm. Crime dropped to almost zero. I don't know about that. I'm sorry, but well, they do say that, don't they? In the you know, again, people present crime stats in such stupid ways because, you know, where the Democrats are there and they're putting loads of restrictions on guns, that's where all the fucking gun crime's happening. So, you know, what's going on there? This is a worldwide movement being done all around the world different ways, but it's like the deadline around. Sorry, I don't understand the context of that. I moved on too much. Okay. Fantasy and political science. Thank you about the trees. It should be noted that poles are melting on Mars. Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like some species in America are actually above 1970 levels. We talked about this before. They need to be honest about all that, but I'm not going to go on about the environment again. Guys, oh my God, I've been on air for an hour and a half. How did that happen? Fucking hell. Is anyone still watching? Oh God, there's loads here. Hiya. Thanks for joining us, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Please share the stream. Please let everyone know. Why watch? Oh, Sid's just put a video out. Thank you for that. Why watch Trigger Warning? Go on, I've not even watched it, so let's hope that you've not hopelessly misrepresented me there. I just hit retweet on it straight away without even checking. That's a wise thing to do, isn't it? Hi, Graeme. Sorry, I had to stop listening, mate. I've had one of them phone calls. Oh, it's absolutely fine. I'm not going to read out who it is, and I'm not going to read out the details of it, but don't you worry. There's more important things in life. I don't expect anyone to listen for more than 20 minutes. That's about the average for a live stream. Anyone here for the whole thing, you are a hero, but I don't expect it. That's why we put the clips out. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, this is amazing. Right, so I don't follow comics too much, but I do follow the Comics Gate thing. And the latest glorious element to Comics Gate is that now Darth Vader has been cancelled. And do you know what he did? Do you know the terrible thing that one of the most well-known evil men on the planet, in fiction did? He killed a woman. He actually... Oh, hello, Alistair. He actually lightsabered a woman. The bastard! And people are going mad over it. They are losing their mind. It was this like weird girl. She was all obsessed with him. I'm not going to go into the thing because they copy strike the fuck if you go into too much of the story. But yeah, you don't have to be alone. I'm yours now and forever. We can be. And then they've cut it out. But basically just lightsabered her through the tummy. And then there was a thing where he was saying, he comes saying, get rid of the trash. Everyone's going on, how could you kill a woman? Because to these people, here's the thing, man. These people are bigots. These people are the most misogynistic, sexist people on the planet. Why? Because they see women as less. They see women as victims. They see women as people needing protection. A woman being lightsabered by Darth Vader is disgraceful to them, disgusting. How could you present a woman as such a victim like that? The rest of us just go, well, you know, whatever, man. The rest of us actually have enough respect for women to see that this obsessed character who was obsessed with Darth Vader was a woman, but we don't take anything more. We don't go after it because we're not lunatics. Dennis Allen's been defending it, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the best bit that I love. Chuck Wendig, one of the arseholes behind the whole Comic Gate thing. He got fired from Star Wars for all sorts of reasons. He's a dick, basically. I'm not going to go into it. Google it, find out for yourself. But yeah, my issue 3, because he was writing this comic, of Shadow of Vader was about a toxic fanboy. A boy? So it's basically the same story. A morgue attendant who became obsessed with Vader, and it didn't end well for him, obviously. I thought it was a good story, but sorry, you won't see it. So we've got essentially the same story, and in Chuck's mind, in his sexist, women need protecting mind, women are victims, women are second-class citizens mind, it's okay to have essentially the same story as long as it's a boy. That's kind of sloppy, man. I don't adjust my language for my partner. I don't. My girl walks in here, asks me about my day. I don't hide things from her because she's a delicate little princess. I respect her enough to speak my fucking mind to her. She's not going to read a girl getting lightsabered and go, oh, just faint. Fainting feminists, that's what they call them, don't they? Chuck Wendig, go fuck yourself, man. Go fuck yourself. Oh, we've already done that one, haven't we? We've already done that one. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. But yeah, here we go. Long complainly thread about why Dark Visions 3 doesn't work and how it could have worked. Well, if it was a boy, wasn't it? That's it for you, isn't it? As long as it was a man being murdered, it could have been the exact same story, exact same panels with a dude, with a tash. And maybe even a masculine looking one, so you could really enjoy it, because apparently you just hate cis men enough to put it on a sign. And straight men, you guys are the bigots. You're the bad guys. You realise that, don't you? Beyond the misogyny of Dark Vision's ending, I am also struck by the idea of a comic where Darth Vader says, come and get this garbage out of my quarters. There we go. Come and get these. It's funny, isn't it? Because Darth stood there when Alderaan, how many people was that? 1 billion? Were they all men? Was every single person? Was Princess Leia, because she's from Alderaan, isn't she? Was that the only woman then? Is that why she was a princess? Because she was literally the only woman. Are you happy with that? 1 billion lives snuffed out. It's Darth Vader, you absolute freaks. He's a villain. What the fuck is he going to be like? Oh, he's not going to give a shit. Do you, when he's there, like, choking people for making slight mistakes, or even just looking at him funny. Jesus Christ, it's all right when they've got a dick, though, isn't it? Have you so little respect for the female side of the species that you can't possibly see them presented as a victim in any way whatsoever without freaking out and lifting your handbags? It really feels like you were trying to say something about fangirls who empathise with villains like Anakin. Oh, Jesus Christ. You people are pathetic. Pathetic. You need to sort your shit out. You really do. Fucking Darth Vader is problematic. It's Darth Vader! It's literally Darth Vader, you freaks! Oh my God! Again, It's just religious at this point, isn't it? It's fucking religious at this point. Idiots. Good job, lads. Can't stay, but you've got a great platform. No worries, Chris. I'll see you in a bit, man. Have a good day. Happy Dog Graeme has the same bigoted standards regarding disabled people. Just view his verse story of the evening with his well done to Sargon for having a day. No, I didn't. I just thought it was nice that... Well, go and watch the Sargon video with the disabled guy. It was nice. It was nice. It was. He treated him with respect. I liked it. I'd like more politicians. Fuck off, Happy Dog. Fuck off. Not having it. Not doing it. I'm not going down that road with you tonight. Although you know I can. You know I can easily. Oh, someone's liked my tweet about Owen Benjamin. Yeah, that's why it came out before. Because he's been getting it. He's in a bit of a fight with the Daily Wire people at the moment, and I pointed out the fact that like Owen Benjamin was quite exciting for a few months there, wasn't he? Before he went completely off the deep end. Right, I don't know what to make of this. Champagne has been scrapped for the FA Cup winners. They're going to replace it with a non-alcoholic substitute. And it feels weird to me, this. You know, they're doing it to protect people, but I'm just wondering, has anyone actually complained? I don't know. The decision will come into effect next month's FA Cup final between Manchester City and Watford at Wembley Stadium. And it's obviously because some players are Muslim. But there's a weird thing here, because what if the players are Christian and they don't want to be they don't want to have alcohol on a Sunday? You know, it feels like we're overdoing it here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure people could be more than happy to stand on the edges or say no and all the rest of it. To me, this just seems like unnecessarily virtual signaling, and it's one of them where they're trying to do something nice, but all they're doing is just showing themselves up to be bigots. Because it's like, oh, well, the Muslim football players couldn't possibly make allowances for it, so we need to protect them. That's the thing. It's that thing of seeing them as less. I've worked with loads of Muslim guys and people of all different faiths and backgrounds. I can't remember what Kazuo Sama was. He's from Japan, but he didn't drink. But when we had the yearly thing, we used to go off to the hills every year, whole kitchen, a few different kitchens would go. There's people all sorts, didn't drink, didn't smoke, all sorts of stuff, but we managed to go together. We didn't ban alcohol. It was just like, no, I don't drink. And it was great, actually, because it used to get so out of hand that the owner used to give out drinks pass tokens. So he prepaid a certain number of drinks. Half the kitchen, Muslim, didn't drink at all. Like, maybe occasionally a tiny bit. So me and my brother used to get handed like so many of these vouchers, and I can't even remember most of the nights. I know once, apparently, they lost a deposit on the coach, because apparently, and I have no memory of this, I was just running up and down the centre aisle throwing up. It was like as messy as a blackout drunk messy person could be. I was just going, and then just like on the floor, my knees just going, and everyone was just trapped with me driving back from the Lake District or the Peak District, whatever it was, as I'm just going. And the problem is when I'm really wasted, I get out there, I get dark, man. I get like thingy. But yeah, I don't know what to think about this. I'm not as some people are really enraged, but to me, again, it's the bigotry of low expectations, isn't it? It's, you know, poor little Muslims, they couldn't possibly handle the situation, so we need to adjust for them, and I don't really like that. I don't really appreciate their attitude. That's kind of my take on it. Why I want to mention it. It's just this thing about, you know, like, oh, I'm an ally to minorities. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean, man? Are they less than you? Why do they need your protection? Why do they need your allyship? You know, why? What the fuck? Have a core amount of basic respect for their capabilities, you know? And if you're a top class footballer that's just won the FA Cup, I think you can probably handle the fact that there's champagne involved with the situation. I don't know. But guys, hit the TW logo. Please subscribe, hit the bell, join us live, get yourself on tw.com for our podcast, our thing, our Patreon, and our PayPal button's changed whilst we've been on air. Does it still work? I don't know. Maybe Aiden's having a little tinker right now. He loves his tinkering. But yeah, there you go. You can go donate there. You can set it up as a one-off payment. You can do it as a thing. If you like what we do and you don't want us to go and get real jobs, then please drop us a couple of dollars. If you get value out of what we do here, then, you know, see it however you want. I've been on air for an hour and a half now. We put out videos every single day. We put out podcasts twice a week. You don't have to pay. That's free. Always free. But if you get value out of that and you would like that to continue to happen, please drop us a donation. Last story of the day. Then I'm going to read some comments. Then I'm going to go. And it is these militias on the border in America. The leader of the militia group, United Constitutional Patriots, was arrested April 20th by the FBI on federal weapons charges. And you might not like this, but my answer to that is good. Good. Okay? If somebody's crossing the border illegally, I get that. That's a crime. But a private citizen should have no right to be pointing a gun at them in reply to that. What I was saying before, you have every right to defend yourself. You have every right to protect yourself. And yeah, if this is their land and they have clear signs saying no entry, then I understand that. You respect your territory, you respect your land. But if this is just general government land, if this is just general out there on the border, and if this isn't your land and you've not been asked to defend it specifically and directly, and I would say in fucking writing at this point, if you haven't been asked to defend it, then you have no right to point a fucking gun in someone's face. This is a dangerous erosion. This is the upper end of, you know, the right to defend yourself being taken too far, man. This shit ain't cool. He should have been arrested. As one human being to another. Like, say I own a shop, yeah? And someone decides to shoplift. Do I have a right to just put the gun in their face when they're shoplifting? Do I have a right to do that? I don't think I do. I think it's got to be reasonable force. I don't know, man. This bothers me. This does bother me. We've got to, again, we respect personal freedom, we respect personal property, but it's not on us to do this. Are they breaking the law? Yes, sure they are. They are. But this makes me very, very uncomfortable. Placing your own self-importance to the point where you think that it's appropriate for you to go and point a weapon at another human being who is not a danger to you. That's the important thing here. That person crossing the border is breaking the law, yes. But if they're not a direct danger to you, your family, your property, then what right do you have to point the gun at people? This is taking it to a scary level. You know, this is the thinking that leads to shootings, that leads to... I don't know, I'm uncomfortable with this, man. Yeah, is immigration a problem? Yeah. Should people just be able to pour over borders? Of course not. Of course not. But that needs sorting out in another way. I mean, I could get I could understand patrolling, alerting the authorities. If you want to do that, if that's how you want to live your life, go for it, man. But ultimately, you rounding up a couple of people isn't making one real difference one way or the other. And all you're doing is dancing with taking another human being's life, for the crime of them wanting to have a better life. Ultimately. Jesus Christ. No, I don't like this. I don't like it. And I like the fact that they've been arrested. Good. I can see what they're doing. I can see their thinking. They're trying to defend America. I get that. I respect that. But these things have to be done right, man. If you're that interested in it, join ICE. You know what I mean? Fucking volunteer. Set something up. If there's nothing there to do that, then approach your local government and say you want to volunteer. Say you want to go out with the ICE people. Say you want to do it. Fucking do this thing. Do it properly. Do not dress up like a bloody seal. I mean, look at this. Why are you in camo? Exactly. Why? No. You're just taking an innocent life at this point. I don't care if they've broken the law. Every single person on this planet has broken a law at some point. Everyone. You know, you see someone smoking weed in the park, do you have a right to point a gun at him? No, you fucking don't. It might be illegal, but no. I'm not happy with that. And Anyway, that's the show, guys. Thanks so much for getting... Oh, sorry, I've ended on a bit of a downer there, haven't I? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to end on a downer. I tried to have positive things this week. I tried to have answers and stuff. But, yeah, guys, click the logo, click the videos, check out everything else. Please subscribe. Big love to everyone that joined us, and I will see you Tuesday for the podcast, and I'll see you again on Thursday for the big show. Guys, you're amazing. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you soon.